the best cricket batsman. He spends a lot of time taking care of his bat, looking at his bat, because that's a tool for him. The right tools make a big difference in our lives. And my mind doesn't have to change the context, right? My mind just says start Zoom. I come here and my muscle memory says press these two keys. Zoom is started. A lot more of us should be fiddling around with their computers and try to make them the perfect tool for our day-to-day usage. Quickly switching between contexts, okay? BetterTouchTool allows me to do it. It allows me to invoke multiple different programs very quickly. Welcome to a new episode. In this episode, I'm going to show you a tool that I use to be more productive at work. One of my professors at IIM shared an example with me that has stuck with me to this day. And that example was that if you give a carpenter the task to make a chair, but you don't give him good tools, he'll probably take a month to be able to make a chair. If you didn't have tools to make a chair, right? It will take a long time because he can't cut wood, can't do anything. But if you give him the right tools, he can make a simple chair in a couple of hours. The right tools make a big difference in our lives. And the best cricket batsman, he spends a lot of time taking care of his bat, looking at his bat, because that's a tool for him. And the better the tool, the better he can do. So today I'm going to give you a demo of a tool that I use. This episode is not sponsored, and I'm doing it because I think this tool is excellent. And I'll give you a demo of a tool. I'll also tell you why I use this tool, okay? So the name of this tool is BetterTouchTool. The reason I use this tool is, so we have to always start with the why, right? So the why I use the tool is for quickly switching between contexts, okay? Say, for example, right now, for some reason, I wanted to start a Zoom call. So what would you typically do on a Mac? You'd press these two keys and then you'll start typing Zoom, and that's how you'd open Zoom, right? So look, you press these two keys, Z, O, and then enter, like 5 or 6 keystrokes. It takes around 10 or 15 seconds. But look what this tool allows me to do. See these two fingers? I take these two fingers and I just tap my finger. And as soon as I tap this finger, it starts Zoom for me on my computer. And in a day, say I'm starting Zoom 10 times, and instead of taking 5 seconds every time to start Zoom, now I can do it in 1 second because I'm not typing these two, I'm not typing this, or I'm not going to and trying to find Zoom, looking for Zoom over here, and then clicking for Zoom on my dock. All I do to start Zoom is I do this, and I press this key, start Zoom. So now think about this. It might sound like a simple thing, right? Like you have to start Zoom 10 times. Now to start Zoom 10 times, you take 10 seconds. Earlier, you were taking 5 seconds each, 50 seconds. So 40 seconds saving in a day, big deal. There are two things that happen, okay? One is the time saving, and I'll show you how I save time, how I save almost half an hour of my day, right? Out of 8 working hours, I end up saving almost half an hour a day by this tool, BetterTouchTool. And the second thing is that my mind doesn't have to change the context, right? So when I want to start Zoom, my mind just says start Zoom. I come here and my muscle memory says press these two keys. Zoom is started. I'm not having to tell my mind. Suppose my mind is thinking about a particular software that I'm writing, right? So I don't have to tell my mind, oh, go to your keyboard, press this and this, then type Z, and then press enter, right? So I'm able to stay in the context of still writing my software and able to start Zoom because my mind is not having to take multiple steps. And if my mind has to take multiple steps, I've now forgotten about the context of the software that I was writing, right? So by using BetterTouchTool, I'm able to I get two advantages. One, I save time, right? 40 seconds in a day starting Zoom 10 times. And second, I'm able to stay in the context. Now, let me give you another example, right? Suppose I'm on a Zoom call, right? So I will bring this here and let me make this smaller. I don't need this. Suppose I want to start Zoom, so I do this and I come Zoom. Now, while I'm in Zoom, I want to mute my audio, right? So what would you usually do? You'll come here, and you'll click on this, right? So that takes around the 3 or 4 seconds, and you're having to tell your mind, like your mind cannot stay in that conversation anymore because you're doing all this, right? So instead, what I've done with BetterTouchTool is, again, look at these two fingers. I come here, I press this, and I get this, and I do this. And my Zoom audio is muted. Did you see that? So again, if I'm muting my audio 10 times in a day, instead of taking 3 seconds to come here and mute the audio, I take only 1 second. So I save another 20 seconds. But more important than saving these 20 seconds is I'm able to stay in the conversation. I don't need to take myself out of the conversation to mute or unmute the audio, right? So many times during the day, I have to access my Git. Git is my file management file versioning system, right? So all I do is I see these four fingers, I put my four fingers down and I take this pinky finger, press this, and my Git starts. You see that? So again, I'm able to start Git very quickly without having to go to the dock, look for the GitHub icon, and then click, or come here and then type GitHub desktop and open this, right? BetterTouchTool allows me to do it. It allows me to invoke multiple different programs very quickly and do some actions within those programs very quickly while staying in the context of the work I'm doing without having to like tell my mind, oh, stop the work you're doing. Now figure out how to find Zoom. Now figure out how to find GitHub desktop, or now figure out how to mute your mic, right? And I can do other things. For example, let me open the terminal app, right? So say I have the terminal app open, and now suppose I have the terminal app here, right? Suppose I want to position it to the left of the screen. All I'm going to do is take these four fingers, tap them once, and it gives me this. Do I want left side 1/3, half, 3/4, middle 1/3, right, top corner, full screen? So say I want left side half. I do this, it comes here. I press it again. Say I want it on right side half. Comes here. Suppose I press it again. I want it in middle 1/3. Comes here. Press it again. I say I want it to go to right side top corner. Takes it to right side top corner. Let me go back to the terminal. I press it again and I say I want it to be right side 1/3, right? So you see, I'm able to arrange my windows and move them around. Say I want to open my browser. All I do is I take three fingers and look. I just do under back, and this opens my browser. See, and if I want to say hide this browser, go back to my terminal. All I do is take my five fingers and press, and my this goes away, right? So just understand, like I spend 8 hours a day on the computer, and just the way a good batsman is fiddling around with his bat and making sure his bat is his perfect tool, right? Um, I suggest that a lot more of us should be fiddling around with their computers and try to make them the perfect tool for our day-to-day usage. The Better Touch tool, you get a free trial version, and I think then it costs like $15 for a license. So I think these $15 are worth it. I don't remember the exact price. You can check it out. Now let me show you a bit of how the Better Touch tool software works. Okay. Say for example, I come here. I say trackpad, and I want to configure some gesture on the trackpad. Right. So I come here. See, I say whenever there's a two-finger click, or let me show you how to open Zoom, right? So whenever I say tip tap right, one finger fix. So tip tap right, one finger fix. That means put two fingers here, tip tap, and the one finger is fixed, and the tip tap is on the right finger. When I do this, it starts Zoom, right? And how am I doing this? So let me stop Zoom here, leave meeting. The way I do it is I come here and I say add a new trigger, right? So let me do this. I'm going to delete this Zoom, starting the Zoom trigger, and I'm going to create it again for you guys, right? So I'm going to come here, click, delete. Okay. So now if I take these two fingers and I tip tap right, does it start Zoom? No, it doesn't. So let's see, how do I configure it for that? I click on the plus sign. It says please select a trigger. So I'll say tip tap. It's a two-finger gesture. And let's look for tip tap right, one finger fix, right? And then I come here and I'll say in actions, I'll say show hide, show hide specific application, and then I'll select the application. In the application, I'll select the zoom and come here, select this. So now let's try it out, right? And over here, I want it to show up as start toggle zoom, right? So I'll come here and in notes, I'll say toggle zoom. And over here, I'll say toggle zoom. I'll save it. So it shows up as toggle zoom here, right? Now let's see if I come here, 2 fingers, tip tap right. So it's telling me toggle zoom. So suppose if say zoom was closed here, if I click this, so it's starting zoom, but it's not starting the video application itself, right? So what I do is I come here and I click on add additional. I come here, I say send keyboard shortcut. I come here and I think the keyboard shortcut is Control Command V, okay? No, I think it's Shift Command V. Shift Command V, okay? So that's the thing to start the. So now let's see, tip tap right. Okay, so it's not starting it yet. So select a predefined action on keyboard shortcut. Click here to record. Show hide. So let's type shortcut. Send shortcut to specific app. And I'll say Command Shift V, select app, zoom, okay, save, come out here, let's do it, Commands. Okay, so still not starting. So let's make sure that we got the shortcut correct, right? So I come to zoom, window, and I'm looking for my okay, it's Control Command V. So I come here and I make the shortcut as Control Command V. Save. Let's do here Control. So see, and now my zoom starts, right? So what did we? So this is how you configure triggers. Now I know, like first time for people looking at it for the first time, it might have seemed a little bit complicated, but it takes some time, but then it gets done. So what are the triggers I've configured? I've configured the zoom related triggers here, right? I have approximately 20 triggers configured. Let's count how many I have. So I have toggling dictation, toggle zoom, audio video screen, and then with 3 fingers swipe up, down, I can control my browser. I can switch to the previous app, swipe right, 3 finger tap, it opens my notes. 3 finger double tap opens my temporary browser, opens my messages, WhatsApp and Telegram. So for example, if I want to open my WhatsApp, all I do is tip tap middle. So look at these, tip tap middle. This opens my, look, this is starting my my WhatsApp, right? And with 4 fingers, I can toggle my calendar by 4 fingers swipe left, like this. Look, it toggles my calendar, 4 fingers swipe left, toggles my calendar, 4 fingers swipe right, toggles my AI tool. So calendar, AI tool. I can get rid of calendar by doing this. I can get rid of AI tool by doing this, right? And I can hide all the apps by 4 finger double tap. So see, 4 finger double tap, it hides all the apps, right? So this is the way that I use BetterTouchTool to be more productive and save almost 30 minutes a day and be able to work while staying in the context. So when I'm writing code, I stay in the context of writing code. and I'm not thinking of, oh, how do I start my WhatsApp, or how do I start Zoom, or how do I mute my Zoom, or how do I start my browser, or how do I resize a window. All that I do just through these fingers. So I recommend this tool highly, and I hope this helps one of you. Bye.